If you get your water from a public or municipal supplier, you've likely received an annual report. These are called the Consumer Confidence Report, although generally we'll often just call it the Annual Water Quality Report. These are required by state and federal law. In this segment, we're going to do 4 things. Number 1, we're going to explain why you received this Consumer Confidence Report. Number 2, we're going to talk about the Safe Drinking Water Act of 1974. Number 3, we're going to give you some helpful websites for exploring your water. And number 4, we're going to give some resources for those who have well water. So why are these consumer confidence reports provided to you? Essentially, a federal law enacted a very specific set of requirements for contaminants in the 1974 Safe Drinking Water Act. That act has been amended over the years, and in 1996, state and local agencies required these consumer confidence reports to be delivered to you, the consumer of the water, by your public supplier. The public producers provide a report each year that contain a basic set of data to help you analyze the water quality. This is not necessarily all of the data that they would test for, but it's a basic set of metrics to help you think about this. And so it helps you to basically see if your water quality is good. And these are, again, for public water drinking providers. This is for tap or finished water, not the source water. The difference is the source water is the river or the lake or perhaps a large well where your provider pulls water from. And that water quality can be very different than the tap water that you receive. So these reports are for tap water, not the source water. Also, these reports don't come for those of you with well water. Those are individual systems, and so you're really required to do your own testing. In all, the Safe Drinking Water Act of 1974 tasked the U.S. EPA with setting standards for drinking water quality and also supervising the state and local agencies for carrying out and implementing these standards. You can find out more about the Safe Drinking Water Act at epa.gov. The site provides the original law that you can read and also the amendments to the law that have taken place since then. And you can also get more general resources about drinking water and water quality overall. If you live in the state of Pennsylvania, you can find out more about the resources at the web address that's shown on the screen. There's information here regarding water sources and water quality in the state of Pennsylvania. And also there's a good deal of resources for those who have well water in terms of getting water tested and also preventing contamination of your well. In other states, you should search your state's water guidelines and administration. Usually there's a Department of Environmental Protection or a Department of Environmental Quality or something very similar. And there often might even be a local office nearby. Oftentimes a simple internet search can help you find that. So how do the U.S. EPA and the Safe Drinking Water Act come into play here? States and local agencies are required to enforce these notifications. And in Pennsylvania, it's the Department of Environmental Protection, the DEP, and that they require that these consumer confidence reports are sent out. And so this is, again, part of having a license to be a public provider. So a good way to start for these is to look on your water bill or at the local website for your water provider for a link to the CCR. For those of you that are living in apartments, you may need to see your landlord or manager to get a copy of these. But oftentimes municipalities and providers will actually send a bunch of these to an apartment complex to be delivered out to the individual residents. So you might need to ask about these reports. If you're not sure who your provider is, then you can search the US EPA database of all public suppliers. If you point your browser to epa.gov and then type in CCR, you will get to this page. There you can search by an address, or if you actually know your water provider, you can do that as well. US EPA does provide resources for those of you that have wells to get your water tested or to think about how to prevent contamination. So in this session, we have looked at a consumer confidence report. We've talked about the Safe Drinking Water Act of 1974. We've given you a couple of websites to be helpful, and also those of you that have wells, we've given you some resources to get your water tested. In the next session, we're going to help you locate your water quality report and find out who your provider is. So we'll see you next time.